Magic, and I wanted to talk to you. We've been, talking on and off for a while now about doing a little collaboration thing. I know you invited me to do like a full lust type of thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I want to tell you that recently, that kind of inspired me with another fellow YouTuber of mine to send him like a snippet of a tutorial that I was doing. And I sent him that to see if he could like break it down and stuff. And he did like really good. And he knows a little bit of magic and stuff, but he did a little bit too good. I'm like, damn, the hell! I remember the first time I saw that shit, it fooled the hell out of me. So uh, there's a couple of things that I've been trying to work on and come up with to see if I can fool him. And now I know some of this stuff, especially what I'm going to show you today. Probably at least the first half may not fool you, but you gotta let me get through the whole performance before they ridicule there. Okay,
No worries.
yeah, get my coffee waking me up. All right, so you want to introduce yourself to tell us a little bit more about you?
Yeah, I'm MK Magic. Been doing magic for a little over a decade now and just kind of making stuff on YouTube, just kind of seeing where it goes.
Yeah, yeah. And I've been subscribed to you for a while now, ever since I first seen. I don't know how many years ago, but a couple years ago at least.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
So
been a bit.
you've been on YouTube for a decade.
No, I've been doing magic for a decade. I've been on YouTube
Okay.
since 2018, so about 6 years
Okay.
now.
That might be around that. So maybe 2019 when I first subscribed, somewhere around there probably. I'm not entirely sure, but it's been a while, a couple years at least.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Cool, cool. All right. So yeah, I've been doing magic off and on for I don't know, last oh boy, I'm gonna say the last 15 years, maybe a little bit more or less, off and on. I've gotten back into it within like the last 5 years, a lot more heavily, I should say, than it was at the beginning.
Makes sense.
What are some of the things that draw you to magic, or what do you get out of it? I know what I get out of it, so
Yeah, for me, it's two different things. One is seeing like the spectators' reactions of like, especially like I sometimes certain tricks of mine I'll like, work like comedy into it. So seeing them like laughing and then just go like stone face, like how'd he do that? I find that hilarious. And then the other thing I like the mechanics and like psychology behind it and stuff, and seeing how all that works and be able to work it into stuff.
there is so much. That is another thing. There is so much material out there. It's crazy. It kind of blows my mind. Like every time I feel like okay, I think I've got a large knowledge base, and I'll see something that's like really really old, and I'm like, what the fuck? How does not know anybody know about this? Like I've never seen anybody show this, or
Oh yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
definitely.
So where do you learn most of your magic?
Recently, mostly card stuff, but more of applying the psychology of things over like brute force method type of thing. So
Right,
using like slight subtleties to make something more fooling, and recently
right.
I've been kind of doing that.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. Definitely working on some slides. I mean, you do some stuff. I'm just like, what the fuck? I already know how long that shit's gonna take me to, get done. Like, so I get butterfingers sometimes,
I feel that. I feel that.
But my question was more of, for the people who are watching, people who are interested in learning magic. Where do you source? I know for a fact from watching your stuff that you source a lot of things from books.
Oh yeah.
Um,
So
what
most
what
of my Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
So most of my stuff I do source from books. Some of them is a combination of books, mixing that with performances I see of other people and kind of making my own. And the third one is from other magicians I interact with. I interact a lot with Armando Lucero. I'm not sure if you know of him, but a
No.
lot of his stuff has kind of inspired some of the things I've been doing.
Okay. Who are some of your favorite magicians? Some of your greatest inspirations out there in the magic world?
Oh, I'd have to say Daniel Madison, Chris Ramsey, Armando Lucero, and Danny De Ortiz would be my top ones.
Okay. Okay. All like big hitters right there, bro.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
For sure. Okay. Um, Yeah, what I'm about to show you is partly inspired by one of those people. I'm not going to say who until the end.
Okay.
Um, there's something that I learned. Actually, I want to say it's five different people inspired, like little bits of this whole thing. Um, I'm not trying to rush into it because I'm going to be honest with you. I sort of came up with this last night.
All
And
right.
I work at nights, so I'm constantly if I'm on break or something like that, I'm watching videos or reading something or uh, in my spare time here and there, and I came across something pretty interesting. It had nothing to do with a card trick at all, uh, at least not really. And I thought, how could I work that around and make something a little bit more interesting, more for my taste? And the idea was pretty good. So not really tested. I kind of tested it in my hands here at the house this morning. So I don't know how it's gonna go.
No worries.
I have no idea if it's gonna be good, gonna be bad. But oh boy, you know how it is when you first break open a magic or you first learn something, like you want to perform it, and then you do it.
I feel that. I feel that.
I think we've all been there, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I'm either gonna amaze or embarrass myself, one or the other. Um, let's see here. I just want to get a couple things out of the way. I want to like kind of interview you a little bit. So first of all, anybody watching this, please go subscribe to his channel. He has awesome magic. He has tutorials. He has all kind of stuff on there that you guys can check out. Um, so okay, what are some things? Now you don't have to name things specifically. But what are some things that you like to perform? I know you like card magic is and coin magic and um, are there any like what are your go-tos? And you don't have to name names here if you
Mhm.
want to just kind of describe what the effect is. And for people who know they know, or if you feel comfortable, talking about it with, however you want to do.
Yeah, yeah. So typically my go-tos, most of my performances are very impromptu. So I'll start with an ambitious card routine. I've taught this before as my opener tutorials. So it's an ambitious card routine with a color change at the end that happens in their hands. So I'll usually go with that one. I'll go with card to mouth, where the card jumps up to your mouth and they don't realize it. And
Yeah.
then I like out of this
Absolutely.
world. Yeah,
Out of
out of
this
this world.
world.
And those are my go-to
That's a great
three.
one. That is a great one for sure.
Oh yeah.
I actually have a tutorial coming out for one of my favorite, pretty much impromptu tricks, which is going to be two card Monty, which is
That's a
something that
dope
hits
one.
hard. It hits hard, and it's something I love to do on occasion because in the way that I perform it, um, is kind of like, can I show you how magicians swap cards? And I kind of
Yeah.
lead into that, and I kind of talk about um, like pickpocketers and stuff like that, how they're able to slip, their hands in and get. So I kind of make a little bit of a patter around pickpocketing, and they think you're demonstrating one thing, and then it turns, and you know how it goes.
Oh yeah. That's definitely a dope one.
Yeah, yeah. Um, just so I feel a little more comfortable. Do you have any magic? You'd like to show us or?
Yeah, I can do one real quick. All right.
Awesome,
So
awesome.
I'm gonna angle this down a little bit. So got 52 cards, regular decks here. If you were here, you could do all this. I'd have you pick a card this way. But since you're not here, I'll just go through like this, say stop wherever you would like.
Stop.
Right there on that card?
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. So I'm gonna show you this card. I'll look away, memorize it.
Got it.
All right. And again, you could have picked any of these. And they're really all different. And at this point, this is entirely hands off at my point. I'd give you the deck. So I'm gonna go through like this again. Tell me where to stop, and we'll put your card back in that place.
All right. Stop.
Right there?
Perfect.
Okay. Do you want me to shuffle the deck at all?
Uh, sure. Why not?
What type of shuffle? Riffle shuffle, overhand, casino wash, whatever you want.
Ooh, how about a pharaoh shuffle?
Pharaoh shuffle. All right. Just one?
That'll do.
All right. So Yeah, again, if you were here, you could have done the shuffle. I could have turned away after you picked the card and everything. You picked any of these cards, they're all different. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to read your mind and find your card. We're going to see if this works. Might not.
It's very fair so far up to this point.
All right, I'm committed. I got one card sticking out. What was your card?
My card was 5 of hearts.
5 of hearts?
Oh, man. Nice.
Thank you.
All right. I guess here goes nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and lean into this routine. So I know you noticed I have a wonderful deck of cards here. We're actually not even gonna get to this just yet, so I'll leave it where it is in view. But we're not gonna deal with that first. The first thing we're gonna go into is a little bit of an imagination. I want you to use your imagination, right? I'm sure you know where this is going, but just, work with me here. So I want you to use your imagination and imagine I have an invisible deck of cards here. And I'm going to start shuffling this deck of cards up. Give it a little bit of a ruffle shuffle. How about a bridge and maybe a couple of cuts? And what I'm going to do with these cards, I'm going to throw them up in the air. And we have all 52 cards, 52 possibilities floating up in the air. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine when you look up in there, you see all these cards. I want you to imagine either the red cards or the black cards falling down.
Okay.
Which cards fall down?
The red cards.
The red cards fall down. All right here on the table. So now we have all of these red cards laying here on the table, right? And of course we have hearts and we have diamonds. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about the hearts and I want you to think about the diamonds. And I want you to switch in your mind. I want you to say hearts, diamonds, diamonds, hearts, diamonds, hearts, diamonds. I want you to switch until I say stop, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead. Switch. And I want you to stop. Do you have one in mind?
Yes.
Okay, so now that you have one in mind, I want you to tell me, if you were to switch one more time, where would you be at?
Hearts.
Be at hearts. So we have a red card and it's a heart. Now, the next thing that I'm going to ask you is, you know how we have number cards and we have picture cards, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So number cards and picture cards. I want you to think of a value of a playing card. Do you have one in mind?
Yes.
Okay, so we have number cards and we have picture cards. If you're thinking of a number card, I want you to switch to a picture card. And if you're thinking of a picture card, I want you to switch to a number card. And where are you at?
Number cards.
Our number card?
Yeah.
So all the number cards vanish. All we're left with is all the picture cards. So that's going to be king, queen, and jack. So if I were to take two of those away, what would you be left with?
Jack of hearts.
You'd be left with the jack of hearts.
Yeah.
So now I'm left with two cards in my hand. I have the king of hearts and I have the queen. I want you, imagine I have them right here and I want you to push one to me.
Okay.
Which card are you pushing to me?
The king of hearts.
The king of hearts. That leaves you with one card. The queen of hearts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's fair to say that you made all these decisions, landing you at one particular card. And I had this deck of cards sitting here the entire time in view.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were here in person, I'd have you do this instead of me doing it, right? So actually, we might do it a little bit of a different way, just so you don't think I'm cheating, right? So,
no worries.
just so you don't think I'm cheating. But what I would have you do is cut the deck just like that. Give it a cut. But since you're not here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to spread the cards out. I'm trying to keep them in camera frame. And I'm going to point my finger here and just tell me stop wherever you like, anywhere you like.
Stop.
Right here.
Yes.
So let's pretend you were to cut the deck at this particular point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the fairest way for me to, have you cut the decks without you actually being here. So that would mean that you cut to the 7 of diamonds and the 8 of diamonds. Okay. So you cut to the 7 of diamonds and the 8 of diamonds. What we're going to do is we're going to add those values together. All right. 7 plus 8 is what?
15.
15. So I'm going to try to do this as fairly as possible, one card at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the 15th card is your thought of card, the Queen of Hearts.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And the interesting part about it, you can see this is not like a forcing deck or anything like that. Everything is fairly shuffled. All the cards are completely different. So
Nice.
that's what I got for you.
That's pretty good.
So I know for a fact, because I watch your channel. I know the first half of the routine there.
Yes.
All right, let's agree on that.
Yes.
The second half. Do you have any thoughts on that? Oop, that's how you know the shuffle.
So I'm assuming you can't shuffle the deck beforehand. Am I correct in that assumption, or am I wrong?
I can.
You can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, not to say that there isn't a way to shuffle them, that I must shuffle them.
Fair.
And without it being a false shuffle, by the way. And I can literally perform a shuffle. However, I wanted it to be a little more fooling for a magician.
Fair.
So I decided to just give them a cut anyway.
That's fair.
And like I said, if you were here, you can literally cut the cards anywhere you want, and wherever you landed, that's where you'd be.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
You got me stumped on that part. So I understand, yeah, like you said, the first half. I understand the end. I'm not sure how you can get the numbers.
Right. That's the part that I was like, wait a minute, hold on. This is interesting.
It is.
Right. I believe I've seen you do the first half of that routine on your channel. Am I wrong?
Correct. Yeah, I've done that for, it was the first trick I ever learned, and I taught a tutorial for it, and I did the same premise.
Okay. I see. Okay. Now, the actual version that I did is actually a mixture between different people. It's from a routine that I learned from Chris Ramsey, which is what is it? Red. What is? Do you know which trick I'm talking about? With the it's the trick that Chris Ramsey released. Red. Why can't I remember this? Anyway, it's a trick where the card ends up inside the cellophane. Do you know which one I'm talking about? So
yeah.
So on that lesson for that trick, he actually taught a little bit of you know what. And I thought that was like my first introduction to it, really. And then I learned another version from Alex Pandrea. So I tried to take like these little touches from each of them. And for example, right on Alex Pandrea's channel. Sorry to see him leave the magic industry, which really sucked. And then the other person I learned from, which is something I matched in there, is from Peter Turner, which I'm sure you know Peter Turner's work, and he is a crazy, mentalist.
Oh yeah.
Which, I mean, come on, that guy right there, that guy's nuts, right? He has some really, really, really good. Like, he's so good at it too. He's like so fucking natural with it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Now, yeah, I was working as I'm going through the first part too. I'm like, come on, buddy, work with me here. But you really put me to the test there. Which is great, because that's exactly what I need. But yeah, because I tried every once in a while, people at work, and it'll be something like, oh, your card's in my pocket, or whatever. But Um, yeah. So the first half you got. The second half is actually 95 years old.
Okay.
So it's a really, really, really old thing that I found in one of these books I have here. I have like hell of books back there, little library back there. But yeah, I haven't wrote it down in my journal yet because I literally found this like I was saying last night, and I'm like, wait a second. And the funniest part about it, it wasn't necessarily from a card trick; it's from a mentalism routine.
Okay.
Which is interesting enough. I'm thinking about go ahead and making a tutorial for this particular trick because I haven't talked about the E word, let's call it that, on my channel yet.
Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe I should work on that. What do you think? Do you think I should teach this?
It could be dope. It definitely could be good. Might get some good reactions with that.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. So being that I'm sure you have more experience than me with the E word there. What do you think about those little touches and stuff I put, the kind of like switching in between and all that? That's kind of like Alex's work and then Peter's work there towards the end. It's
Yeah,
pretty much Chris, Alex, and then Peter towards the end there. The is in the order of like what I've mashed together.
makes sense. Makes sense. I think overall you did really well. The only thing I would maybe change is the reveal at the end. Maybe amp it up a tiny bit more. Outside of that, I thought it was a great routine.
Well, the reveal. Oh, you mean the reveal with the card, or what do you mean? Like the actual counting out?
Oh well, the counting it out, I think was great. The cutting to the two cards, I'm not really sure how you could amp that up more, but maybe if you could add a little bit
Well,
of focus there or in some way, I think that would
okay, I see.
that would like kind of like seal it off in a sense.
Okay, so I was thinking because it can literally be done like this, where you just point to anywhere and cut at that point. Literally
Yeah,
cut at that point, and wherever you cut at, you're gonna have, whatever it is, 17 here, for example.
yeah.
So, uh, what would you do to spice it up a little bit? Like, if this was something that you were working on.
Maybe right before they cut, do two other cuts and show them. Okay, if you pick 6 and 3, be like you would go to a 9, and then Ace
Okay.
and 8 would go to like a 9, and like
Oh,
and
I
then
see what you're saying.
do
I
it
see what
twice
you're saying.
beforehand, and then have
Okay,
them do it.
I got what you're saying. Like a convincer, as they say, right?
Yeah, a little bit of an extra convincer in there, and I think that would kind of like top it off there.
I wasn't sure if I showed the cards at the beginning or not. Did I remember if I did or not? But
I don't remember.
okay, that's interesting. I don't remember. I'd have to look back here. But yeah, this is definitely something I'm going to send and see, send to my buddy and see if it fools him or not. I'm pretty sure
Sounds
the
good.
first half might not, but if I can get him with the second half, at least I'll do better than I did last time. Last time I did a shuffleboard routine, which I
Mhm.
spiced up a little bit, and
Yeah,
yeah, he
I
got
watched
like
that video. It was pretty
90%
good.
of it. He
Yeah.
he he got like 90% of it. I was like, damn it. I have another trick that I can, that literally I could show him if I wanted to. But I believe I showed him, like we did a podcast. Like we've done like 3 podcasts, and I showed him this, and it kind of fried him, which is pretty cool because this is another great one. But I can't teach this one, unfortunately.
Fair.
But I mean, the cool part, you can really have these cards mixed up, have you shuffle them. It really doesn't matter. Any card trick where the cards are thoroughly mixed up by your spectator is a great one for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's give those a cut. And actually, this routine's pretty cool. Show me a king of diamonds. Okay, let me see a king of diamonds. Oh, I was gonna cut to it. That would have been crazy. You know those coincidence tricks, right? Yeah,
Oh, those are the best. Yeah,
Oh
those are the
man,
best.
God, bro. But in all seriousness, though, let's give you another. I don't want you to think I'm cheating here, but which of course I am. But you know how in most tricks, for example, you have everything shuffled, and in most tricks they're like, go ahead and pick a card, any card you like, right? So in this trick, we're actually not going to do that at all. In this trick, I would have you or me, it doesn't matter who does it. I'd have you start dealing down cards, right? Just like this, dealing down cards. And then at any point, you say stop. Did you want to say stop there? Keep going. It's fine.
Keep going.
Shuffle up. Keep going. Okay, we'll keep going. Say stop anytime you like.
Stop.
Right here, and we'll shuffle up. Keep going.
Yep.
Say stop.
Stop.
Right there, and shuffle up. And you could be doing this, I could be doing this, it doesn't matter. It's I'm just gonna demonstrate this really, really awesome trick I learned, and then in private I'll tell you exactly where to get it.
All right.
Because it's a good one, definitely worth the money for sure. And then I put my own little touch on it as well. But so in all fairness, even though the cards were shuffled beforehand, they're shuffled during, I could, you know how magicians are, I could possibly know something about that top card. So I'll get rid of it by sticking it somewhere in the middle. I could also know something about that bottom card. So we'll get rid of it and stick it somewhere in the middle. Now, at this point is when I tell the spectators to go ahead and start dealing until we get about halfway down. So at this point, whenever you feel like it's about halfway, you just go ahead and tell me to stop.
Stop.
Okay, I thought you were counting.
Not quite. No.
How many cards I'm holding?
Maybe 24.
It feels about right, but I'm not going to count it. Okay, so at this point, I could possibly know something about that top card. We're going to get rid of it. And I could possibly know something about that bottom card, so we're going to get rid of it. All right, so here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to look away. Look, I'm hands over, and I'm going to have you take a look at that card. You got it?
Yep.
Okay, everything down, and I'm going to keep my eyes closed and try to cut these cards as best as I can. My eyes closed. And I'll go ahead, look away, give them a little overhand shuffle. Hopefully no cards go flying out. Okay, so at this point, I think it'd be pretty fair to say I don't know what card is, but I could figure it out. Are you convinced, or
maybe?
Not, really? Not maybe. Okay. So there's a couple ways to go with this routine at this point. I could try to go into the deck and find it, but where's the fun in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's not do that. Let's actually take the entire deck and put it away. And at this point, only you know what your card is. And I guess everybody else is watching, but you know. So if I had to guess, okay. Please don't be wrong. I'm going to say your card was a black card.
Correct.
Okay. Since the E part of the routine, you said number card. I think it was a number card.
Correct.
Okay. So with black, that means it's either club or spades. Spades, club or spades. Okay. It's a club.
Correct.
Okay. It's a high card.
Yeah.
You are thinking of the 9 of clubs.
Yep. Yeah, you got it. That's pretty good. Yeah, you got me stumped on that one.
My brother, that is one of my favorite tricks. And I like that is the one, and the way that I do it is even better. So I'm gonna have to talk to you about that.
Definitely.
But yeah, we're definitely have to talk about that. And that one's a great one. If you're not performing that one, man, I gotta get you out there with that one, because
oh yeah, that one's pretty good.
Thank you. All right. So any ideas on that one? You don't have to go into too much detail, you know.
Yeah.
pull the
I don't
ship
even
out
know
of the
where
water here.
I don't even know where to start on that one because so I know you know the card. I'm guessing before you even cut the deck. It's like
Well, the thing,
you show the card. I'm guessing at that point you know the card also, or at least shortly after.
well, here's the thing. This particular trick, it can be in your hands. You shuffle. You do everything that I did.
Okay. Does that mean you know the card before I pick it?
Um, there's, let me put it this way. There's different variations.
Okay.
Um, there's different variations. That could be a yes or it could be a no.
Fair. Outside of that, I have no idea. Like the beginning, it's too fair, so I'm not sure.
It's
I
too
know
fucking fair.
yeah, I know you know it at some point. I just don't know how you get to knowing it.
Yeah, well, we're definitely gonna have to talk about that.
Definitely.
This is a good one. This is literally one of my, like, if I ever want to fry a magician, or this is like the one trick that I know for sure I can do that. It's gonna get everybody every time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about that. Just
Sounds good.
this is one we got to keep to ourselves. This
Oh,
one in particular, no tutorials, all right?
100%, 100%.
All right. I don't want to take all the the screen time and stuff. If you want you have anything else you want to show us, like maybe you can give us a small tutorial on something that something easy that people could pick up, something that you
Okay.
do all the time.
Okay. Let me think of one that I haven't taught on my channel just yet here.
Okay, that's fair.
So, hang on. Let me get this together real quick. This is one. So I saw a performance of this years ago, and I had no idea how it worked. Like, completely fooled me. And then, literally Friday, I randomly remembered it and looked up the performance video again and was watching it. And I'm not sure how they did it, but I thought of a method to do it using
Oh, I
a.
love tricks like that. Would you like backwards engineer that shit, bro?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So I thought of a method to. I don't know if it's the one they used in the performance, but I thought of a method to do it with a Svengali deck. And I thought, okay, that would work. But with this Svengali deck, as you know, you don't really finish clean. They can't look at the cards afterwards.
Right.
And I kind of wanted.
You can shuffle the deck. There's a way to shuffle the deck. You got to get used to it, but yeah, to end clean, there's no inspection. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I wanted to be able to add inspection at the end where I could hand them the cards like, yeah, totally normal cards afterwards. Or even if they wanted to, they could shuffle and everything. So I kept thinking about it, and I came up with another method to do it using a regular deck of cards. I almost have it ready here.
Okay, yeah, take your time. Are you about to fry me right now?
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Is my brain about to be cooked? Because I'm excited.
So this one, it works a lot better in person. So I've been performing it a bunch this past week at work and stuff. So what I would do is I'd give them the deck, and it's entirely hands off for me. Take the deck. I tell them put it behind their back, and they're like, okay, take the deck. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the bottom and put it on top, cut the deck and complete it. And again, I have no idea. I make sure no one else knows they cut and complete, and I tell them, do that again if you want. And they can cut and complete, and they can do this as many times as they want. And at this point, then whenever they're content, they take the top card and they put it in their pocket. That way, no one else sees it. They don't see it. I don't see it. And I show it. It legitimately is a regular deck of cards. They could have picked any of these cards. And then I tell them, I know the card they picked, and in this back pocket is the Six of Hearts. And then they can pull it out, and it's the Six of Hearts, even though no one's seen it.
Oh shit! Pretty clean.
Oh yeah. So I've been getting lots of dope reactions. So what I figured to do it is a stack, basically. And I know a lot of people use like Svengali or something. I personally don't use Svengali a whole lot.
Five Stebbins would work for that perfectly.
Yeah. Or like other ones like mnemonic and stuff. I personally don't use mnemonic just because I know a lot of other magicians recognize it.
Right.
So, and I've talked about this in another video of mine. So the stack I use is I separate the deck and I make it mirror itself. So the first card, I take a Six of Hearts and then the Six of Diamonds. So red six, then black five, black five. It doesn't matter what the order is. I can shuffle as much as I want. But when I lay it out, I just mirror. So black two, black two. So, Yeah, so the top
So
half.
basically, at the middle of the deck, everything then splits out in pairs going out.
Yes,
Right?
yes. So
Okay.
like I got the top cards at 6, and if I go halfway through, then we'll find the other red 6 in there. So in the cuts, it's not going to change the order at all. And when they take the top card, they can do that. I look at the bottom card, 6 of hearts. When I'm
Right.
showing them all the way through, I'm looking for 6 of diamonds. I know one card over is the mirror card. So 5 of clubs, I know they just picked the 5 of spades, and then I can reveal it.
Okay.
So I've been
Okay.
doing that one a lot.
So it's using a stack and a key card principle.
Yes, kind of like a stack with a double key card there.
Interesting. So I was actually thinking to myself as you were performing that you could also do that using size sevens, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, you could do that using size sevens. So let's say if I had a deck here, had it stacked up in size sevens, and you cut it anywhere you want twice. It's cyclical, so it doesn't mess up that order. And as soon as the deck is brought back, all you have to do is look at the bottom card, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's kind of like the same concept.
Yeah, same with like mnemonic. You would only have to look at the bottom card. Like
Right.
when they hit it, like you just glance to be good. Again, I wanted to be able to show them, oh, all the cards are really different. Some people will catch on like, oh, he's looking for something, but I haven't had anyone figure out what I'm looking for yet. But with that, and since I'm not using a well-known stack, since I'm just mirroring the deck, most magicians don't catch that it's in a stack.
So I got you. Okay, so if you watch my channel at any period of time, people know I love marked cards, right?
Oh yeah.
That's something that I love to perform with the Penguin marked deck, or whatever deck. But especially for lay people, Penguin marked deck is like so easy, so cheap. I mean, you can buy a brick for they're like $5 a pop. That's like a regular deck price. I mean, come on, you beat them up, whatever. I mean, I actually take one to work every day. That's all beat to hell. So one of the things I taught on my channel, I think it was actually the first at the markings on top would tell me exactly. So kind of like what I did before, but in that other trick, but that's a completely different method. It's not size step like that.
Yeah.
So you could go like this, and for example, by knowing the looking here and seeing the marking. So like if they were to for example, if they were to take this card, the next card on top would tell you what this card was.
Yeah.
No matter how many times it's cut.
Exactly.
That would be another good way to actually perform. I mean, it's funny because as I'm watching you perform this, I'm like, at first it never even occurred to me that's how good and frying that trick is. And I'm like, wait a minute, how did he do that? Like I had to think about it. Like I had to reverse engineer my brain, and it did not think at all the way that you just taught me, which is amazing. So
thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a different route than most magicians take, especially because I can do it with a borrowed deck. I do have to get into the stack, but I don't necessarily have to have specific cards, which I like that also.
Right.
And that's an enjoyable part of it.
And another thing about that particular stack is they don't have to be in any certain order, right?
Yeah, I don't have to have it memorized.
Have to be in pairs.
Yeah.
So in that way, the cards will definitely look mixed.
Yes.
Like if you were to spread them out to a quick eye, like nobody's going to notice that. Somebody might notice like sevens. It's red, black, red, black, red, black. That's like one of the first things that'll catch your eye. And then if you catch chased, then that's a whole nother issue there. But most lay people aren't going to catch that. Magicians will. I think if you pulled out your stack and even displayed the cards before anything started, I don't think anybody's going to catch that.
No, yeah, all the magicians I performed it to, they haven't caught it. Like I don't know if you're aware of Daniel Fernandez, but I performed it for him.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I think I'm subscribed to his channel. He has a channel, right?
Yeah. So I got to meet him and performed it for him. I think there's a video on my channel of it, and I used that stack for a trick, and I found no magician so far has caught on to it, especially because I enjoy it. You don't have to have it memorized, so you don't have to spend the time memorizing the order because it's different every time. Like before I get in stack, I'll shuffle it at 4 or 5 times and then set up my stack. That way it's different each time, and you're just doing it based off the key cards.
Right here, exclusive. That is awesome, bro. That's a great idea. Like I've never even would have thought about that. Like I would have thought of every other method to accomplish that, but that. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
And on Monica, I mean, boy, if I try to memorize mnemonica like so many times, bro.
I feel that.
I get like a quarter way through and my brain gets fried, and I'm just like, I've listened to that. I don't know if you've heard that song where it's like a nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
You know how many times I listened to that shit? It fucking comes out of my ears, bro. I've even went as far to get the Rick Lax video to try to help memorize, and yeah, I don't know what it is. I have a memory issue. I used to do martial arts and box like that and stuff like that. So memory is not my greatest ally, but
I get that.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm sure you're familiar with cribs, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put you in on a little secret. I'll send you the link to these, but if you have a card box, right, there's actually a crib that has the entire mnemonic right on the bottom, and all you have to do is like a sticker that tapes right there at the bottom. And from a layman's point of view, nobody's gonna see that, but you can have the box sitting right here. Boom, there's the whole crib.
Yeah. Or I don't know. Have you seen those stack watches?
I have both of them actually.
Yeah, I think I used to have one. I don't know what I did with it, but because I used to do mnemonic every once in a while, but I found if I don't do it for like 2 or 3 weeks, I forget it. So I use one of those stack watches, and it worked great for for big audiences because I'd like turn around as they're picking the card and just look at the watch and be able to get it that way. And I found that worked really well.
Yeah, that it worked well for me, but they're like the font was so small. The second version was a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, this is awesome because you can just have it sitting there on the table, and you can literally, as you're talking to them, the way they have it set up, I think is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's set up in 10. So rows of 10, it's a 10, 20, 30, 40. So you can actually like very quickly acquire whatever card you want at whatever number.
Definitely.
A reference point there.
Makes
but I'm
sense.
definitely trying to get back into it because I have books here that like heavily rely on it, and I'm just like, man, this is a tough mountain to climb there, brother.
Oh, definitely. The main reason I haven't gone too deep into it is I do enjoy the impromptu stuff. Like if someone else like, here, use my cards, because you probably know the spectators are always wary and they're questioning and everything. So if they could provide the deck cards and I can do the same thing, I like that because it gets better reactions in their eyes.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. If you ever go to someone's house and do a killer trick with their playing cards, yeah, they'll never forget it because they're gonna keep it like, bro, what the fuck happened with this? And something I like to do too, which is like a little pro tip if you have friends who have playing cards, without them knowing, take their playing cards to the bathroom, stack that bitch up with it, whether it's side stab-ins or whatever you have planned, put it back, come back 2 weeks later and fucking fry them with their own deck.
Oh yeah, that's always great.
Yeah, that is, I love doing that. I've done that a couple of times.
What I've done before too is at like different friends' houses, I'll have playing cards hidden. They've maybe been there for 5 or 6 years, but if they pick the card, like go look under that rug and it'll be there.
Revelation, bro.
Oh yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I actually did that in a 2-story window one time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got like it's like a little wax for invisible string. You know what I'm talking about? Oops.
Yeah.
I said that out loud. So the little wax there, I put it on the back of the card and put it's like a broom, and then I had double-sided tape on the front.
Okay.
And I had it in the corner in one spot, and I was able to get it up there. And then once I was able to roll off of the wax, I kind of pressed it in, and it stayed. I think I performed like card through window with it or something like that.
Makes
and I know
sense.
the card stayed there, and I guess that side of the window was like never used as much. I guess they only opened the other side because I kind of put it on the other far side. And I remember going back like a year later, and let me see if that card's still there. And it was. So
nice.
The revelation, like, let me see your cards, and just throw it out the window, and yeah.
Nice.
I got a double whammy with that one there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I really appreciate you coming out and such short notice too to do this.
No problem.
We definitely have to get together and talk about some more magic, and I'm gonna have to send you some links on where you could learn that last one, because that's a great one. I mean, every
Definitely.
great magician such as yourself needs to know that one for sure.
Definitely.
Let's see here. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. I don't want to make this video too long. We're approaching an hour, about 15
No worries.
But that was really, really awesome meeting you face to face like this, and we need to do it again.
Oh, definitely.
All right, brother. Well, I'll hit you up, and I'll send you some stuff. All right.
Sounds good. I look forward to it. I got some stuff I'll send you also.